I'm here at the Water Tower Pub with Graham Newman and John O'Leary. If you remember in an article on Sault Online earlier this week, Graham here is searching for a woman who gifted him a quilt a couple of years ago when he had a heart attack. And John here is actually the gentleman who performed CPR on Graham during this incident. So, Graham, how does it feel to finally meet the man? This is the first time you guys have met, am I correct?
First time I've met him.
Right. So how does it feel to finally come face to face with the man who helped save your life?
As I told him earlier today, I said he's my guardian angel. Just like the movie It's a Wonderful Life. He's my guardian angel.
That's amazing. How does it feel for you?
It feels amazing. Like I said, after it happened, I checked into the hospital to see how he was. And they just told me, yeah, he was flown to Toronto and he was alive, but that's all they could tell me at the time. And for the last 4 years, I wonder who he was, how he's doing now. And it's pretty amazing to finally meet him.
Absolutely. And how did you guys connect?
Through the Sault Online Facebook story looking for the quilt. My wife tagged me in it because he mentioned a young army fella who was the one that gave him CPR. And she's like, Jonathan, wasn't that you on the side of the road? And yeah, I was actually just picking my daughter up for dance. And we decided I wanted coffee. And instead of heading out on Albert Street, I backtracked and went down Queen, and that's when I saw him.
He was actually driving, and he stopped his vehicle and got out of his car, came over, and because I was on the sidewalk outside of near the Royal Bank at corner of Brock and Queen, and he actually just stopped his vehicle, got out, left his daughter in the car, and somebody else went over and looked after his daughter while he performed, what do you call it? CPR, yes.
Wow.
Which I didn't know him. I didn't know him from a hole in the ground. And this lady came along with the quilt, was able to help me, I guess. But she didn't leave her name. Nobody knows who she was or is. And we've been trying to find her ever since. We've advertised, that sort of thing, because it's her quilt. So there was an article in a newspaper about these ladies at the particular church downtown that do quilts. And they make them and they give them to hospitals in Fort Saskatchewan. They did, or Fort McMurray, I think it was, when the big fire took place. They shipped a lot of them out there for the kids and everything. And they've done 3,400 of these quilts.
Oh, wow.
So we're hoping that their contacts will be able to find this lady. So
Absolutely. That would be amazing.
we're hoping. And then you guys were there when I went to the church, and just happened to be at the right time, at the right place, so it's ballooned into this, which is, we'll get more advertising to find this lady. So.
Absolutely. And hopefully it continues to snowball.
Yes, I hope so. I hope so.
Absolutely. So, John, can you just kind of tell me what went through your mind when you saw Graham on the ground?
Well, we were coming down Queen, and I was just getting ready to turn left, and I looked out the window, and I noticed him lying on the ground, and I think it was his brother-in-law that was there, and he was kind of looking around panicked. So I used my car to cut off that section of the road, because I was like, I'm going to have to call an ambulance regardless. So I ran over, and we thought he'd hit his head. So I started checking his pulse and everything, and that's when we realized, oh, he's not breathing. And so I checked all his vitals, yet no, nothing. From that point, that's when the lady came up, and she covered his body with the quilt. We got a coat rolled up under the back of his head to stabilize his neck, and the same lady with the quilt ran over to check on my daughter and look after her while I was performing CPR on him. And I continued performing CPR until the paramedics and fire department arrived.
That's amazing. And did you get to follow up after with them to find out how Graham was doing? Or
Afterwards, I went to the Sault Hospital and just told them, listen, there was a gentleman probably come through here earlier with a heart attack. Due to confidentiality, they couldn't tell me anything. But they said there was a gentleman with a heart attack who was airlifted to Toronto, and he's alive. So I was like, well, that's good enough for me. that put a smile on my face. He was still alive when he left downtown. So
Absolutely.
Basically, this young guy saved my life, period.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And you didn't wake up in the hospital until 4 days later?
Well, that was a Saturday,
Okay.
and I woke up in the afternoon of the following Wednesday. So that's about 4 days, yeah.
Wow. How did you feel when they told you that this gentleman helped save your life?
I only wish I knew who it was so I could thank him, and it took all this time to find out who he was, because nobody knew your name or anything other than you were home on leave or something from the military. That's all we knew. So.
And now you guys have finally connected. That's so
Yes,
amazing.
after 4 years.
So what are your future plans now? Are you guys going to keep meeting up yearly or?
We haven't even discussed that yet, but hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that's the case.
Absolutely. And it would be nice too eventually if the woman with the quilt were able to connect with both of you
yes,
as well.
Yes.
That would be great.
Touch wood.
Yeah, absolutely. So as of right now, Graham is still in search for the mystery woman who gifted him this quilt. If anyone has any leads or may know who she is, feel free to email the newsroom at Sault Online at newsroom@SaultOnline.com or email Sue Quilts for Kids at SueQuiltsForKids@gmail.com.